Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Ask Me Anything segment of the Untethering Shame podcast. I'm Kira, and today's question speaks to the quiet exhaustion that comes from constantly managing everyone else's emotions, needs, and problems. Now, I want to start by honoring the courage it takes to even name this pattern, because being the fixer can so easily get wrapped up in our identity, especially when it's gone unchallenged for years. This week's listener writes, I always find myself being the fixer in every relationship. I don't know how to stop without feeling like I'm abandoning people and I need some help. There's so much weight in this question, not just the burnout of fixing, but the shame that creeps in when you try to stop. And that shame often whispers, if you let go, you're selfish. If you step back, you're a bad friend. If you stop helping, no one will need you. Or worse, no one will want you. That right there is the root of the fixer dynamic. It's not about control. It's about safety. Somewhere along the way, you learned that your value is tied to being useful, dependable, to holding everything and everyone together, no matter the cost. Now, when you try to stop, it feels like you're pulling away from the very thing that has secured your worth and belonging. But here's the truth. Constantly fixing isn't generating or maintaining or deepening connection. You're simply overfunctioning. And it often leads to you and the other person or party being stuck. You end up exhausted and resentful. The other person never gets the chance to build their own capacity. So what feels like love and loyalty starts to become a cycle of disempowerment for both of you. So how do we break the cycle? We need to start by naming the impulse when it shows up. So you might say to yourself, I notice I want to jump in and fix this. What am I afraid of will happen if I don't? Or more simply, what if I didn't? That moment of awareness creates space to choose differently. We can be neutral. We can be curious about what comes up and then decide, if I choose this, then what? Now I want you to practice small acts of pause. Instead of offering a solution to the people around you, what if you asked, what kind of support might be helpful right now? Or even, do you want advice? Or would you like someone just to listen? You'd be surprised how often when we're engaging with people, they actually don't want us to fix it. They might just need space to feel seen and heard. And when we put them in the position of asking for what they need and want instead of us assuming it, that alone starts to break that dynamic. Now, I want you to remind yourself that letting people struggle isn't abandonment. It's respect. It says to them, I believe in your ability to navigate this. I can be here for you, right by your side, walking along with you, pulling you out of the mud sometimes when you need it, and I'm not going to carry it for you. Now, I'll say for any of you listening that are my fellow fixers, this is an incredibly comfortable stance to take, which is why in the beginning, we're going to work first on just some of that reflection, some of that curiosity, some of that what if, because the guilt's going to come up. But I want you to remind yourself that guilt isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong. Often, and especially in this case, it's proof you're simply doing something different. Remember, our brains like predictability, even if the outcome doesn't serve us. So if we're going to make this change, there's no way to do it without the discomfort. So allowing yourself to be in it, to recognizing the value and the goal tied into those acts of choosing differently is going to allow you to deepen your buy-in and start to foster a different brain connection and pattern of engagement. So to anyone listening who's tired of being the one who always holds it all together, your worth is not in what you fix. You're allowed to show up as you, not as a solution or a fixer. Now, if you have your own question that you want to submit, be sure that you follow the link in the show notes. You can submit it with your name or anonymously, and you just might be featured in one of our upcoming AMA episodes. Until then, we'll see you next week.